You've probably heard the old advice, take a bath or shower every single day to stay clean and healthy. It's what many of us were raised to believe. But what if I told you that after age 70, the truth is not so simple? And in some cases, bathing too often can actually harm your health. This may sound surprising, even shocking, but science and medicine now show us that seniors' skin, circulation, and even their immune system respond very differently to bathing compared to when they were younger. In fact, how often you bathe after 70 could be the difference between maintaining strong, healthy skin and dealing with infections, rashes, and even dangerous falls in the bathroom. So today, let's uncover 7 shocking but important facts about bathing in your golden years. By the end, you'll know exactly how often seniors should bathe and why the old daily shower rule may not be the healthiest choice anymore. Let's begin. Fact number 1. Your skin after 70 is not the same as at 30. Think back to when you were younger. Your skin was resilient. You could spend a whole day outdoors sweating, playing, maybe even skipping a shower, and your skin would bounce back with barely a complaint. But after 70, the story is very different. The skin, which is the largest organ in the body, undergoes profound changes with age. Collagen and elastin, the proteins that give skin its strength and elasticity, begin to decline steadily starting in your 40s, and by the time you reach your 70s, your skin is often half as strong as it once was. That means it tears more easily, it bruises faster, and it heals more slowly. Now add bathing into the equation. When hot water and soap strip away the natural oils, the skin barrier, which is already thin, loses its last line of defense. Imagine a brick wall where the mortar is crumbling away. That wall is more likely to collapse, and in the same way your skin becomes more vulnerable to dryness, itching, cracking, and infections. I've had patients in their 70s and 80s who told me they thought they had developed mystery rashes on their legs or arms. When we looked closely, it wasn't a disease at all, and it was simply overbathing. The daily habit of long hot showers with strong soap had stripped their skin until it was raw. Once they reduced bathing to 2 or 3 times per week and used gentler cleansers, the mystery rash faded away. This is why dermatologists often say seniors should treat their skin like silk. Gentle, careful, minimal washing with moisturizers immediately afterward is the key to protecting it. Overwashing may feel like cleanliness, but after 70, it can be more like injury. And here is the shocking part. Skin injuries aren't just uncomfortable. They can become dangerous. Cracks in the skin are entry points for bacteria. For a younger person, a minor infection may be a nuisance. For a senior, with a weaker immune system and often multiple medications, a simple skin infection can lead to hospitalization. I've seen seniors admitted to the hospital because of cellulitis, a bacterial infection that started from nothing more than a small skin break after bathing too much. This is why the advice of daily showers no longer fits. At 30, it might have been fine. At 70, it can tip the scales toward harm. Fact number 2, the invisible shield on your skin and how bathing can destroy it. Most people think of skin as just a layer, like the paint on a wall, but skin is alive. It is not just tissue, it is home to a bustling community of microscopic life called the skin microbiome. And here's the shocking truth. This invisible world is actually part of your immune system. On your skin, trillions of friendly bacteria live in harmony, protecting you against harmful germs. They compete with dangerous microbes, making it harder for infections to take hold. They even help train your immune system, teaching it to recognize friend from foe. Without this shield, your skin is like a castle with its gates wide open. Now here's where bathing comes in. When you're younger, your microbiome is resilient. You can scrub hard, soap up daily, and those microbes bounce back quickly. But after 70, the balance shifts. Your skin produces fewer natural oils and sweat, the nutrients those microbes thrive on. The friendly bacteria become fewer, and they recover more slowly from harsh cleansing. So when a senior takes hot showers every single day, with strong soaps that strip oils and disinfect the surface, it doesn't just remove dirt. It wipes out the very shield that protects against infections. Suddenly, unfriendly bacteria and fungi see an opportunity. And that's when seniors start noticing things, itchy patches that won't go away, fungal infections between the toes, even small sores that become dangerously infected. I remember speaking to a woman in her 80s who swore by her routine: 2 hot baths every day because, in her words, cleanliness is next to godliness. But over time, her legs developed red, inflamed patches. Her doctor prescribed creams, but they never worked for long. When we reviewed her habits, we realized it wasn't a disease she had to fight, it was her own bathing. Once she cut down to just 3 gentle baths per week and swapped harsh soap for mild, fragrance-free cleansers. Her skin healed and the infections stopped. What is so powerful here is understanding that your skin is not dirty when you skip a daily bath. In fact, for seniors, skipping a day or two allows the microbiome, this invisible immune shield, to grow stronger, more balanced, and more protective. It's like giving your skin's soldiers time to rebuild their defenses. And here is the shocking piece of science. Researchers have found that overwashing doesn't just hurt your skin, it may even weaken your whole immune system. Because when the skin barrier and microbiome are repeatedly disrupted, signals are sent to the immune system that cause unnecessary inflammation. And chronic low-level inflammation is one of the drivers of aging, heart disease, and even dementia. So let us reframe what it means to be clean after 70. True cleanliness isn't about scrubbing away every trace of bacteria. It's about balance. It's about protecting the good while washing away the bad. By bathing less often, using lukewarm water, and choosing gentle cleansers, seniors can actually boost their natural immune protection, simply by allowing the skin's invisible army to thrive. This is one of those aha moments for many seniors. They realize that less is truly more. It's not about neglect. It's about respecting the biology of aging. Fact number 3. The hidden danger of hot baths: dizziness, falls, and strokes. When most seniors think of risk in the bathroom, they picture slipping on a wet floor. And yes, falls are one of the most dangerous events for anyone over 70. But what many don't realize is that the bath or shower itself, the hot water, the steam, the standing, can quietly create conditions that trigger dizziness, fainting, and even strokes. Here's the science behind it. When hot water hits your skin, your blood vessels expand, a process called vasodilation. It's why you feel relaxed in a warm bath, but there's a hidden consequence. As the vessels widen, blood pressure drops. For a younger person, the body reacts quickly. The heart speeds up, the vessels tighten again, and circulation stabilizes. But after 70, those reflexes slow. The heart may not respond as strongly. The vessels may stay dilated longer. The result? Seniors often step out of the shower lightheaded, unsteady on their feet. Some describe it as the room tilting, others as a sudden wave of weakness. And in that moment, just seconds, a fall can happen. A fall that may lead to a broken hip, a head injury, or a fracture that never fully heals. But it doesn't stop there. For seniors with high blood pressure, heart disease, or circulation issues, the sudden shifts caused by hot baths can put dangerous stress on the cardiovascular system. Imagine a senior standing in a steaming shower. Blood pressure drops, the heart races to compensate, then when they step out into cooler air, the vessels snap tight again. This roller coaster can trigger chest pain, fainting, or even a stroke. I recall meeting a 74-year-old man, very disciplined about his hygiene. Every evening he took a long, hot shower before bed. It was his way to relax. But one night he stepped out, felt dizzy, lost his balance, and hit his head on the sink. Thankfully, he survived with just a concussion, but the doctors warned him. The heat and length of his showers were creating dangerous swings in his blood pressure. When he adjusted, cooler water, shorter time, and sitting on a shower stool, the dizzy spells vanished, and he regained his confidence in the bathroom. What's shocking is that surveys show many seniors quietly live with these episodes. They laugh it off, saying, "I just get a little woozy after my shower." But dizziness in seniors is never something to ignore. It's often a warning sign that the body isn't tolerating the stress of the bath. So what's the solution? It doesn't mean giving up showers. It means bathing smarter. Lukewarm water instead of hot. Showers lasting 5 to 10 minutes instead of 20. And for those who feel unsteady, using a shower chair can provide stability while reducing the risk of falls. Small adjustments, but life-saving ones. And here's a hopeful truth. When seniors make these changes, the dizziness stops, their balance improves, their confidence grows. They stop fearing the bathroom and start feeling safe again. That peace of mind is just as important as cleanliness, because after 70, the bathroom should be a place of comfort, not risk. And protecting yourself from those hidden dangers doesn't just prevent falls. It can literally protect the heart and brain from life-threatening events. Fact number 4. Why too many baths make joint pain worse. One of the most common struggles after 70 is joint pain. Stiff knees in the morning, aching hips after walking, hands that feel swollen or sore when opening a jar. Arthritis is so widespread that many seniors assume pain is just part of getting older. And when the aches set in, a hot bath often feels like the perfect solution. The warmth relaxes tight muscles, loosens stiff joints, and gives a moment of relief. But here's the surprising truth. Bathing too often, especially in hot water, can actually make arthritis and joint pain worse over time. Why? Because of inflammation. Inflammation is the body's natural response to irritation. And as we age, our joints often live in a constant state of low-grade inflammation. That's what arthritis is, the body mistakenly attacking its own cartilage or simply wearing down the cushion that protects the bones. Now, hot water feels good because it dilates blood vessels, increasing circulation temporarily. But if seniors bathe in hot water every single day, for long periods, it can actually trigger flare-ups. The repeated heat and swelling make joints more tender, especially if followed by cool air when stepping out. The body experiences a mini shock, and that constant stress aggravates inflammation. I remember a retired teacher in her late 70s who told me, "My bathtub is my sanctuary. I soak for an hour every night because it is the only thing that helps my knees." But over time, her pain was getting worse, not better. When we looked closer, it wasn't the arthritis progressing as fast as she thought. It was her bathing habit. Daily hot soaks, stripping her skin oils, drying out her muscles, stressing her circulation and fueling inflammation. When she reduced her baths to just 3 times a week, used lukewarm water, and added gentle stretching instead, her pain noticeably eased. She was shocked that something as simple as bathing frequency had been standing in the way of her relief. There's also another overlooked factor: natural joint lubricants. Our bodies produce synovial fluid, a slippery liquid that reduces friction in the joints. Just like skin, these fluids become thinner with age, and dehydration, which often sneaks up on seniors, makes it worse. Hot baths, especially when frequent, accelerate fluid loss. The body sweats more, the skin loses water, and joints become drier. This isn't immediate, but over weeks and months the result is more stiffness and more pain. The research is clear. Seniors who bathe excessively, especially with hot water, tend to report higher levels of joint pain and fatigue. It is not because bathing itself is bad. It is because the body after 70 requires a gentler approach. Less frequency, cooler temperatures, and hydration before and after bathing. And here's the hopeful part. Small changes bring big relief. Seniors who cut back their hot baths often discover that their mornings feel less stiff, their joints recover faster after activity, and their energy improves. Many describe it as finally getting ahead of the pain, instead of always trying to soothe it. So while the warm water may feel like medicine, the truth is that moderation, not excess, is what truly helps protect aging joints. Baths should be part of comfort, not part of the problem. Fact number 5. Overbathing thins the skin and turns small scratches into dangerous wounds. One of the quietest but most serious changes after 70 is what happens to the skin. The layer that once bounced back quickly, healed fast, and protected against the outside world begins to thin. Collagen, the protein that gives skin its structure, decreases. Natural oils that kept skin supple diminish. And the result is skin that's fragile, like fine parchment. A small bump against the table, a scratch from a pet, or even a rub from a shoe can leave a mark that doesn't heal the way it used to. Now here's where bathing too often makes things worse. When seniors shower or soak daily, especially with hot water and soap, the thin layer of oils that protect skin is stripped away. Think of it as a shield. Without it, the skin dries, cracks, and loses its elasticity, and that dry, tight skin is far more likely to tear, bleed, or become irritated. The shocking part? A scratch that would heal in days at 30 can take weeks at 70. And if that wound becomes infected, it can spiral into something far more dangerous, sometimes requiring antibiotics, hospital visits, or even surgery. Doctors see this all the time. Seniors coming in with wounds that won't heal, ulcers on the legs, or infections starting from something as simple as a scratch that never closed properly. I recall a gentleman in his early 80s who prided himself on staying fresh. He bathed twice a day, scrubbing thoroughly because he believed it kept him healthier. But over time, his lower legs developed raw patches that turned into open sores. Despite creams and bandages, they wouldn't close. When specialists looked deeper, they realized the constant bathing had stripped his skin-S barrier so badly that every small bump became a chronic wound. Once he reduced his baths, used lukewarm water, and switched to gentle moisturizers, his skin began to repair itself, and for the first time in years, the sores finally healed. The skin isn't just for appearance, it's your body's first line of defense, a living shield against bacteria, viruses, and toxins. Overbathing weakens this shield, and when skin thins, infections can enter more easily. For seniors whose immune systems are already less aggressive than in youth, this can quickly escalate into cellulitis, bloodstream infections, or hospital stays. Here is another overlooked detail. Certain medications seniors take, like blood thinners or steroids, make bruising and thinning skin even more common. When combined with frequent bathing, it's a dangerous mix. Skin becomes paper thin, blood vessels break easily, and healing slows to a crawl. But here's the good news. Protecting your skin is simple. Instead of daily scrubbing, a few gentle baths each week are enough. Use lukewarm water, limit soap to key areas, and always follow with a fragrance-free moisturizer to restore the natural oils. This one simple habit can keep skin stronger, reduce tears and wounds, and protect overall health. Because after 70, the goal is an ET to strip skin clean. It is to care for it, preserve it, and let it serve as the protective barrier it was designed to be. When seniors understand this, they not only feel more comfortable in their skin, they prevent the kinds of infections and hospital visits that take away independence. Fact number 6. Too many baths can quietly steal your sleep and drain your energy. For decades, many people believed that a hot bath before bed was the ultimate recipe for good sleep, and there's some truth in that, for younger bodies. The warmth relaxes muscles, reduces stress, and creates a cozy, drowsy feeling. But after 70, the relationship between bathing and sleep becomes far more complicated, and when seniors bathe too often, especially in hot water, it can actually disturb sleep, leaving them restless, drained, and fatigued the next day. Here's why. Sleep depends on rhythm. Your body naturally follows a cycle, raising temperature and energy during the day, lowering them at night to prepare for rest. The drop in core temperature is one of the strongest signals to the brain that it's time to sleep. But when a senior takes a hot bath before bed, that signal gets scrambled. The body overheats. The cooling process is delayed. Instead of easing into deep rest, many seniors toss and turn, unable to fully drift off. On top of that, frequent hot baths strip the skin of its oils. And dry, itchy skin is one of the most overlooked causes of nighttime restlessness. Seniors may wake up scratching their legs or arms without realizing the irritation is coming from overbathing. Some even assume they've developed a skin condition, when really it's the result of too much cleansing. There's also the issue of circulation. As we learned earlier, hot water dilates blood vessels, lowering blood pressure. For seniors, that can mean a pounding heart, lightheadedness, or a sense of weakness right before bed. Instead of feeling calm and secure, they may feel uneasy, and that anxiety alone disrupts sleep. I once worked with a widowed gentleman in his late 70s who had battled insomnia for years. Every night, he followed the same routine, a long hot shower before slipping into bed. But despite being exhausted, he couldn't stay asleep. He would wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, restless and drained. When he switched to shorter, lukewarm baths only 3 times a week and simply washed his face and hands on the other nights, his sleep transformed. He began sleeping through the night, waking up with real energy. He told me later, "I thought I had a sleep disorder. Turns out, it was just my shower." This is the hidden reality. Seniors who bathe too often feel more tired, not less. They wake groggy, needing naps during the day. Over time, this fatigue can chip away at independence, making it harder to walk, exercise, or engage in social activities. And when sleep suffers, so does memory, balance, and even the immune system. But the hopeful truth is simple. By bathing less often at cooler temperatures and timing it earlier in the evening rather than right before bed, seniors can reclaim their natural sleep rhythm. Rest becomes deeper. Energy returns. Days feel brighter again. It's a reminder that sleep is not just about hours in bed. It's about quality. And protecting that quality sometimes means rethinking the most ordinary routines, like how often and when you bathe. Fact number 7. Overbathing can quietly fuel loneliness, depression, and loss of independence. This may be the most surprising, and perhaps the most heartbreaking, of all the facts. When you think of bathing, you probably think of cleanliness, dignity, and comfort. But for many seniors over 70, the act of bathing is not just about hygiene. It's about independence. It's about privacy. It's about control. And when bathing becomes too frequent, too difficult, or too exhausting, it can begin to chip away at those very pillars of dignity, sometimes leading to depression and even social withdrawal. Here's why. Bathing is one of the most physically demanding daily tasks for older adults. It requires balance, strength, and confidence. Standing in a slippery shower or stepping into a bathtub is not just a routine, it's a risk. For someone whose legs feel weaker, whose circulation is not as strong, or whose joints ache from arthritis, the thought of taking a bath can be stressful, even frightening. When seniors feel pressured to bathe every day because of habit, family expectations, or cultural beliefs, they often experience anxiety. They may fear slipping, they may fear falling, or they may simply feel exhausted by the effort. Over time, that stress builds up. Some seniors start avoiding the bathroom altogether, delaying meals, social visits, or phone calls, just to hide the fact that bathing has become such a challenge. Others, embarrassed by body odor or dry skin caused by overbathing, may retreat from family gatherings, church services, or community events. What begins as a simple hygiene routine can quietly spiral into loneliness. I remember visiting a woman in her late 80s who lived alone after her husband passed away. Her daughter noticed she had stopped attending her weekly senior group. She seemed withdrawn and sad. When we gently asked her why, her answer shocked us. She said she didn't want anyone to sit near her because she felt her skin smelled strange from dryness after too many baths. The truth was, she had been bathing every single day out of habit, something she had done since her 20s. But at her age, it was too much. Her skin barrier was damaged, her confidence was broken, and her social life had quietly collapsed. This is why I say bathing is not just about hygiene. It's about mental health, it's about identity, it's about independence. Seniors who overbathe not only put their skin and body at risk, they put their emotional well-being at risk. But here's the hope. When bathing routines are adjusted to be more realistic, say 2 to 3 times per week with gentle sponge baths or face and hand washing on other days, seniors often feel liberated. The pressure eases, confidence returns. They no longer dread the bathroom, they no longer feel isolated. And with that, many regain their desire to go out, to laugh with friends, to see their grandchildren, to live. It's astonishing to realize that something as simple as how often you bathe could influence depression, loneliness, or independence. But the evidence is there, and once you see it, you can't ignore it. Now we've gone through all 7 facts, and together they reveal a powerful truth. Bathing after 70 isn't about following the same rules you grew up with. It's about listening to your body, respecting your skin, protecting your balance, and preserving your energy and dignity. Less can truly be more. So what have we learned? Bathing after 70 is not about following yesterday's rules. It's not about scrubbing yourself every single day until your skin dries, your balance falters, or your energy drains. It's about rethinking what health really means in this stage of life. It's about honoring the wisdom of your body, Because your skin is not what it was at 20, your muscles are not what they were at 30, and your balance is not what it was at 40. And that's not a weakness, it's the natural rhythm of life. The real strength comes from adapting, from finding new ways to protect yourself, and from making choices that serve your body today, not the memory of what it used to be. When you choose to bathe less frequently, maybe every other day or just 2 or 3 times per week, you're not lowering your standards. You're raising them. You're saying, I value my skin, I value my strength, I value my energy, and most importantly, I value my independence. Because every safe step you take in the bathroom, every ounce of moisture you preserve in your skin, every spark of confidence you protect by not overbathing, these are the invisible victories that add years to your life and life to your years. Think about it. Your body has carried you for over 70 years. It has healed from cuts, carried children, climbed stairs, endured illness, and celebrated triumph. Now it asks for gentleness. It asks for respect. It asks for care. And when you give it that, when you protect it from overbathing, when you nourish it with small adjustments, it rewards you with strength, balance, energy, and dignity. This is the hidden truth. Longevity is not just about what medicines you take or what foods you eat. It's about the daily choices that seem small but carry enormous weight. And bathing is one of them. Get it right, and you not only protect your skin and bones, but you protect your confidence, your independence, and your joy in living. So the next time you turn on the water, pause. Ask yourself not, how often should I bathe to stay clean? But instead, how often should I bathe to stay strong, safe, and independent? That question will guide you to the answer that is right for your body, your health, and your future. And if you take nothing else away, remember this. Less is sometimes more. A little water, a little soap, and a lot of wisdom can go further than you ever imagined. Protect yourself, trust your body, and embrace the simple truth that even in something as ordinary as bathing there is power, health, and hope.